The ordinary, beginning Emma and Lily were twin sisters who had always shared everything. They lived in a quiet neighborhood, went to the same school, and even dressed almost alike. People around them often said, "You two are like mirrors," and it always made them laugh. Life for the twins was normal. Wake up, go to school, hang out with friends, and spend evenings talking in their shared bedroom. One evening, as they sat scrolling through their phones, Emma came across an advertisement for a DNA test kit. The ad promised to reveal family history, ancestry, and even health details. She nudged Lily and showed her the ad. "Should we try this for fun?" Emma asked with a grin. Lily giggled. "Why not? Maybe we'll find out we're secretly related to royalty." The next day, the twins convinced their parents to let them order the kit. Their mother laughed, thinking it was just harmless curiosity, while their father shrugged. "If it keeps you two busy, go ahead." Within a week, the small box arrived in the mail. The twins carefully followed the instructions, spitting into the small tubes, sealing them, and mailing them back. They joked about what kind of results they might get. "Watch, we'll probably just be 100% boring," Lily teased. Life went on as usual. School tests, weekend outings, and late-night talks filled their days. The DNA test completely slipped from their minds until, a few weeks later, Emma checked her email. There it was. "Your DNA results are ready." Her eyes widened. She called for Lily, who rushed over. Together they logged in. At first, they expected to see maps with colorful ancestry percentages or maybe names of distant cousins. Instead, a strange message appeared on the screen. It didn't show any percentages. Instead, it simply said, "Results under review. Please contact our medical team immediately." The girl stared at the screen, confused. "What does that mean?" Emma whispered. Lily frowned. "Maybe it's a glitch, or they mixed us up with someone else." They refreshed the page again and again, but the same message appeared. Just then, Emma's phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. Hesitant, she answered. A calm but serious voice said, "This is Dr. Harris from the DNA testing center. I need to ask you some urgent questions. Are you and your sister safe at home right now?" Emma froze, staring at Lily. The ordinary test they had taken for fun was about to pull them into something far bigger than they ever imagined. Strange results. Emma's heart pounded as she held the phone to her ear. The man on the line spoke with a steady but urgent tone. "I need to know who is with you right now," Dr. Harris said. Emma glanced at her twin. "It's just me and my sister," she replied softly. The doctor paused for a moment, then asked, "Are your parents home?" Emma explained that their mother was at work and their father was out running errands. Dr. Harris continued, "Listen carefully. Do not leave your house. Do not allow anyone inside until medical help arrives." His words felt heavy, almost frightening. Lily leaned close, trying to listen. "What's going on?" she whispered. Emma shook her head, not knowing how to answer. The doctor went on, "Your DNA samples have shown unusual patterns. At first we thought it was a mistake, but after multiple checks we confirmed it. These results are extremely rare and may indicate a serious medical risk. I've already contacted emergency services. They're on the way to you right now." Emma's grip on the phone tightened. "But we're fine. We're healthy. We don't feel sick at all," she insisted. Her voice cracked between confusion and fear. Dr. Harris sighed. "That's the dangerous part. This condition can remain hidden until it strikes suddenly. We cannot take chances." Lily grabbed the phone and spoke firmly. "Is this some kind of scam? We only took this test for fun. Why would an ambulance come for us?" The doctor's tone sharpened. "This is not a scam. Your DNA results also triggered a secondary alert. It connects to a national security database. I can't share all the details over the phone, but it is extremely serious. Please remain calm and wait for the team to arrive." As he spoke, faint sirens began to echo in the distance. The twins looked at each other, their faces pale. Emma's hands trembled. She could see the flashing lights growing brighter through the window. "They're really coming for us," she whispered. Neighbors stepped out of their houses, curious about the approaching vehicles. The wail of sirens filled the street as 2 ambulances and a police car turned the corner. Lily backed away from the window, her chest tightening. Why would police be here too? This isn't just about health, is it? Emma shook her head, fear spreading through her. The ordinary game of curiosity they had started was no longer funny. Something dark, something hidden in their DNA, had unlocked a chain of events neither of them understood, and the night had only just begun. The emergency. The flashing lights painted the twins' living room in red and blue. Emma and Lily stood frozen near the window, their hearts racing as the ambulances stopped outside their house. Neighbors whispered from their lawns, pointing and wondering what was happening. For a moment, the girls wished they had never clicked on that DNA test ad. The front door rattled with urgent knocks. "Medical team, open up!" A strong voice called. Their father, who had just returned, rushed to the door and swung it open. Two paramedics in bright uniforms hurried inside, carrying bags and equipment. Right behind them came two police officers. The sight made Emma's knees weak. "Why police? Where are the girls?" One of the paramedics asked quickly. Their father pointed, and Emma and Lily stepped forward, holding hands tightly. The paramedics guided them to the couch, checking their pulse, breathing and eyes with flashlights. "They seem stable," one whispered to the other. "But we can't ignore the genetic flag," the father frowned. "What is going on? My daughters are healthy. Why are you treating them like patients?" His voice carried anger and fear. Before the paramedics could answer, Dr. Harris entered, holding a folder filled with papers. He looked exhausted but determined. "Mr. and Mrs. Parker," he began, as their mother rushed in from work, breathless and confused. "Your daughter's DNA results triggered not just one, but two critical alerts. One is medical. The other is law enforcement related." The room fell silent. Emma's mother's face went pale. She stammered, "Law enforcement? What do you mean?" Dr. Harris placed the folder on the table and lowered his voice. "Their DNA has matched a high-priority profile stored in the FBI's criminal database. It is connected to a case that has been unsolved for years," Emma gasped, covering her mouth with her hand. Lily's eyes widened, trembling with fear. "Are you saying we're criminals?" she asked, her voice breaking. The doctor shook his head firmly. "No, not you, but someone directly related to you. This isn't about guilt, it's about identification. Your DNA holds a clue." The police officers exchanged looks, one of them stepping closer. "We'll need to take protective measures. If what the database suggests is true, these girls may be connected to a dangerous fugitive." The twins clung to each other, their ordinary world spinning into chaos. The ambulance lights still flashed outside, sirens fading into silence, but the storm inside the house had only begun. The hidden past, the room was tense. Emma and Lily sat close together on the couch, their hands clasped so tightly their knuckles turned white. Their parents stood frozen, as if the weight of unspoken words pressed down on them. Dr. Harris looked at the family with sympathy but also urgency. "There is something more you need to know," he said slowly. The twins' mother, Julia, suddenly lowered her head. Her face turned pale and her eyes shimmered with tears. "It's my fault," she whispered. Everyone turned to her in shock. Their father, David, frowned. "Julia, what are you saying?" She took a shaky breath. "Before you girls were born, I lived another life. A life I hoped you'd never have to know about." Emma and Lily leaned forward, confused and afraid. Julia continued, "Years ago, I was a key witness in a case against a very dangerous man. He wasn't just any criminal. He led a network that hurt many people. I gave information that helped put him away. But before the trial ended, he escaped." The room grew colder. The police officers exchanged uneasy glances, now understanding more. Julia's voice trembled. "The government placed me in a witness protection program. They gave me a new name, a new home, and a new chance at life. I thought it was over. I thought he was gone forever. When I met David, I promised myself I'd never speak of the past again." Emma's voice cracked as she asked, "Mom, are you saying our DNA matched his?" Julia nodded slowly, tears falling down her cheeks. "Yes, he is your biological father." Lily gasped and shook her head. "No, that can't be true. Dad is our father." She turned to David, who was staring at the floor, his jaw tight with anger and disbelief. Julia reached for his hand, but he pulled back slightly, hurt by the secret she had kept for so long. Dr. Harris opened the folder on the table, revealing documents and reports. The FBI has been searching for him for decades. Your DNA test may be the first real lead they've had in years. It's possible he's alive, and if he is, he may come looking for you. Emma's breath caught in her throat. Looking for us? The police officer stepped forward. That's why we're here. Your safety is our priority. But this changes everything. You're no longer just ordinary girls. You're connected to one of the most wanted men in the country. The twins looked at each other, fear and confusion in their eyes. Their world, once simple and safe, had cracked open, revealing a past they never knew existed, one that now threatened their future. The final reveal. The living room felt heavy with silence. The twins could hear the faint hum of the ambulance engines outside, the quiet murmur of neighbors gathered in the street, and the ticking of the clock on the wall. But inside no one moved. Emma and Lily stared at their mother, their minds spinning with the truth they had just learned. The lead FBI agent, a tall woman with sharp eyes, stepped forward. She placed a photo on the table. It showed a man with cold features, eyes that seemed to burn through the paper. "This is the man," she said firmly. "Your biological father. His name is Michael Cross. He is wanted for multiple crimes, including murder, fraud, and escape from custody. He vanished over 20 years ago. Until tonight." Julia wiped her tears, whispering, "I thought he was gone. I prayed he was gone." The agent continued, "Your DNA gave us the first match in decades. That means he's alive. Somewhere out there he's moving, hiding, and he doesn't know that we finally have a lead. But now he may realize we're closer than ever. Which puts you," she looked directly at Emma and Lily, "in danger." The twins felt a chill crawl through their bodies. Lily's voice trembled. "Why us? We didn't do anything." The agent's expression softened. "You're not guilty of his crimes, but his blood runs in your veins, and that makes you his link. We believe he may try to reach out, or worse, try to silence the only connection left behind." Their father, David, finally spoke, his voice strong but pained. "Then you'll protect them?" "No matter what it takes," the agent nodded. "That's why we're here. We'll place your family under protection until we locate him. But we'll also need your help. Your DNA can guide us to trace his relatives, his movements, and perhaps finally capture him." Emma squeezed Lily's hand. Her chest felt tight, but her voice carried a spark of courage. "So what started as a silly test might actually help stop him." Dr. Harris nodded. "Yes, what seemed like a game may now save lives." The girls exchanged a long look. They weren't just ordinary twins anymore. They were the key to ending a nightmare that began long before they were born. As agents prepared to escort the family out, Emma whispered to her sister, "Our lives will never be the same again." Lily nodded, fear and strength mixing in her eyes. "Then let's make sure it's for the better." And with that, the door opened, the flashing lights outside, waiting to carry them into a new and uncertain future.